Predators don't measure greatness by survival alone. Survival is expected. What separates the legendary from the merely skilled is adaptation. The ability to walk into impossible odds, read the shape of death itself, and rewrite the rules mid-hunt. And by that measure, Stalker, also known as Baby Boar, is not simply a member of the Lost Tribe. He's one of the clearest examples of what happens when the Predator ethos evolves beyond brute dominance and becomes something colder, sharper, and far more dangerous. The Los Angeles incident back in 1997, that was meant for observation only. When the City Hunter was unleashed on the city, Stalker and his clanmates, the Lost Tribe, remained largely unseen. They were watching from the shadows, beneath the streets. They didn't intervene, they didn't assist. They allowed the hunt to play out because Yautja culture values outcome over interference. Only after Detective Mike Harrigan defeated the City Hunter in a brutal hand-to-hand duel did Stalker step into the light. Aboard the Yautja Mother Ship, Harrigan stood surrounded by killers who had erased worlds, and yet they spared him. This moment matters. Stalker and the Lost Tribe didn't retreat in defeat, nor did they retaliate in anger. They acknowledged victory, they claimed their fallen warrior, and Greyback, the clan leader, honored Harrigan with an ancient flintlock pistol, a symbol of respect older than empires. Stalker's presence in this scene places him firmly within Predator canon, not as background decoration, but as a witness to one of the most philosophically important moments in the franchise. The acknowledgement that honor transcends species. But the Stalker Predator, his legend doesn't rest on restraint, it rests on engineers. The universe's silent architects, the towering, near mythic progenitors of humanity, standing between 8 and 9 feet tall, with dense musculature, extreme durability, and physical power that eclipses even most Yautja. These things are not prey in the traditional sense. They are walking monuments to brute force, and interactions between predators and engineers are vanishingly rare because they are catastrophic. When they clash, worlds remember. But when it comes to the Stalker Predator, he didn't just take one on, he took two and soloed them. This isn't just a cosmic flex. This is a statement. This isn't a scenario where a predator overpowers an engineer through strength alone, because that doesn't happen. Engineers dominate in raw physical combat. They're stronger, they're heavier, they're more resilient. If Stalker met them head on, he would have died. And see, that was Ahab's problem. When Ahab first fought an engineer, he tried to match its strength, and he got his ass beat badly. I mean, the engineer had him screaming like he was somebody's bitch. Ahab shot a harpoon in the thing's chest, pinning him against the wall, and the engineer pulled it out. This was an insane fight. It was brutal, it was bloody, but at the same time, a lot of it was unnecessary. And this is where Stalker is different than Ahab. Stalker turned the fight into something else entirely. He hunted around their power. Using stealth, terrain manipulation, he exploited the fundamental weakness of the engineer species. Not fragility, but predictability. Engineers rely on overwhelming force. Predators, like Stalker, rely on precision. Plasma casters that allow them to strike outside of grappling range. Exploiting reaction time gaps. Cloaking technologies that prevent prey from ever fully orienting themselves in space. Each kill isn't an act of dominance, it's of control. The battlefield reshaped into a trap the engineers would never really understand until it was too late. And surviving that encounter alone would have been impressive. There have been multiple predators that have survived encounters with engineers. Ahab survived 2 himself. But killing 2, that elevates Stalker to a tier reserved for elites, and I mean elite of the elites. Like, you practically a legend at that point. You're on Dex level from Predator Badlands. I mean, he took on the planet Genna. No other predator survived Genna. Deck, Stalker, the Predator King, they're all legend status. And this is why Stalker's post-Los Angeles career makes sense. Choosing to remain off-world, Stalker and his brother Boar became mercenaries. Not because they lacked honor, but because they had transcended the need for ritual validation, protection contracts, high-risk extractions, exotic trophy hunts that require intelligence as much as violence. Stalker organizes every mission, every contingency, every exit strategy, and his brother Boar executed with fearless brutality. Together, they formed a tribe of two capable of accomplishing what full clans could not do. Weaponry reflects philosophy, and Stalker's arsenal is no exception. His plasma caster is not a blunt instrument, it's a scalpel, used to dismantle threats before they ever close distance. Wrist blades are deployed surgically. Everything Stalker carries exists to create asymmetry, to ensure no enemy ever fights on equal terms. He's not flashy, he's efficient. And in Yautja culture, efficiency is a form of respect. This predator right here is proof that the Yautja species is not static. He represents evolution. The idea that intelligence, planning, and adaptability are as sacred as strength. Where some predators chase glory, Stalker builds inevitability. Where others hunt for trophies, he hunts for outcomes. And when even engineers fall before him, it becomes clear that the most dangerous predator is not the loudest, the strongest, or the most brutal, but the one who learns to think like the hunt itself. In a universe filled with monsters, Stalker is something rarer. He is strategy given flesh. And that is what an elite predator looks like. If there was ever a movie I would want to see, especially by Dan Trachtenberg, it would be a movie with the Stalker Predator taking on two engineers. That would be amazing. I know everybody wants to see Ahab on screen. I don't really think that should happen. We already got Fire and Stone, the comic book series. That's already a part of Alien canon and lore. You know, I don't really think there's a need to put that on screen. Yeah, it would be cool, but it's like we already got that story. You know what I mean? The story we haven't seen is Stalker's story. And it already connects to Predator 2, so just take a Predator who we've already seen before but don't really know and give us a story on him. Show him taking on two engineers. This would be amazing, you know? I think it would be cool to see an elite hunter take on two engineers. That's another Predator movie where the Predator walks away in the end, you know what I mean? I think that would be so badass. But as always, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.